Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Making It Simple. Had a few days away because of the Thanksgiving time with friends and family and travel. And I hope that all of you had a blessed and wonderful holiday. Enjoyed your time wherever you may have spent it with friends, family, or maybe you just did it by yourself. But either way, the Lord was with you. And so we're looking forward to being back here on our normal schedule at Making It Simple, at least for a while, until we are now entering into the blessed season of Christmas and all the joy that comes with that. And while that season can absolutely be hectic if we allow it to be, from the crowded stores and maybe seemingly a little more traffic and this and that, one of the things that I want to encourage you with is keep your eyes on the main thing. Why do we celebrate? What is the intent? What is the purpose for us as believers? I realize that we really have a very divided sector when it comes to holidays. Okay, some people get all up in arms about even the salutations. Whether it's Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving. Here's the thing: why do we celebrate? That's what matters. Okay, if a person, and I realize this became a real big debate a few years ago because it was kind of made out to be that saying Merry Christmas was offensive. Well, that's foolish because that's actually the name of the day. It was proclaimed as such back, oh my goodness, for 100 years ago or however long it was, a long time, that day, December 25th, would be acknowledged as Christmas Day. It is the universal feel among the Christian faith that it celebrates the birth of Christ. Is it the specific day of his birth? No one actually really knows that. But that is the time that was appointed, anointed, or whatever, that we celebrate that. To say Merry Christmas is acknowledging the day regardless of your beliefs. Okay, Happy Holidays. Well, there are multiple involved. There's Thanksgiving, there's Hanukkah, there's Christmas, there's all of those. So that is not necessarily a leaving out of anything important. So don't let stuff like that ruin your day. Don't do that. That's just a little personal note for me. Getting back to our time of prayer. Now, we've been talking about the importance of prayer, the power of prayer. Our last time together, last week, we spoke about the Lord's Prayer, the model prayer, if you will. We really broke that down as to why that's important. And we ended off just looking at that from a bracketed kind of way, thinking about who we're addressing. That's very important. The fact that we're showing reverence and respect. We're asking for His will to be done. We're believing and trusting Him for our substance for the day, whatever it might be, our needs, because Scripture is very clear that God supplies our very need. Very, very important. We ask for the removal of barriers, the things that get in the way. Your will be done, and forgiving us of our debts as we forgive. Those unforgiveness and hard-heartedness, all those things get in the way. We're asking the Lord to get rid of those things and hold us accountable as to how we return that. Our forgiveness, we're asking Him to say, well, forgive me as I forgive others. That's a big deal. And we're also looking for victory because we're really believing that He can. For thine is the kingdom and the power for deliver us from evil. We're looking for that victory, and we're believing that it's possible because God knows our heart. He knows if we doubt. Just like if we're addressing one another and we talk to each other, we can pick up pretty clearly whether we believe that another can do what they say they can do. We may even let it slip audibly, yeah, right. Okay, that's just true. We do that. And absolutely, if we don't let it come out of here, it certainly remains in our head and in our heart. If we're asking the Lord, though, with that type of attitude, that type of feeling, God knows our heart. And so when we come before him with doubt as to whether he actually can or will, then why should he? God doesn't have to prove anything to us, none whatsoever. When we look at the broadness of the fact, as we talked about in the very first lesson in this, what is this? What is prayer? It's just talking to God. It is having a conversation with our Father, with the Creator, with the one that loves me with a love that I can't measure. Some would wrestle with this, and some might even say, well, I've prayed and nothing happened. God doesn't hear my prayers. So what's the use? Why should I? Why I didn't get what I wanted, or it didn't work out the way that I wanted? What's the use? When something is not working, what do we generally need to do? We need to take a look. We need to examine the problem. If a pipe is not flowing properly, that has to have a water situation, we need to look and see, is there a blockage there? Is there something there that is diverting the problem? Is there something there creating the problem? Is there a hindrance there? Okay, and it's the same way with all different types of things. You turn on the switch and there's no power. What is wrong? Something is hindering the source, whether it's from the main meter box, maybe a broken wire. And we could go on and on with illustrations. It's the same way within our physical bodies. Something is not working. There's generally something wrong, right? Or there's something that is impeding that. It's not working well. Can the same apply to our prayer life? Absolutely. 100% without question. There are stumbling blocks. There are things in the way. And when we go back to the model prayer, we ask, forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation. All these different things. There are things there that can get in the way. And so the model prayer, it gives us the formula of considering the things that are within, the things that are in our heart as we're talking to God. We looked at 1 John. I want to read a couple of passages today. We looked at 1 John chapter 3. All right, and this is what this is talking about. Unconfessed sin, unconfessed issues that we contain within ourselves. It says this in the book of 1 John, for God is greater than our worried hearts. Now think about that for a minute. My worried heart. I'm coming to the Lord with doubt. I'm coming to the Lord I'm consumed. But Jesus said, who of you has made your life better by worry? We have sayings in our Western culture that says, I'm worried to death. Well, that's not a good thing, friends. All right, so it says, our God is greater than our worried hearts, and he knows more than we do ourselves. I got to trust you. Trust issues are a big thing for many people. All right. So what we're saying is when we come before the Lord, your kingdom come, your will be done. All right. So we're coming before him. We've got to get stuff out of the way, because if we're coming before him with distrust, if we're coming before him saying, well, I don't really think you're going to do it, it gets in the way. And John goes on, and friends, once that's taken care of, we get that trust issue settled. We get that hindrance out of the way. And we're no longer accusing or condemning ourselves. We're bold and free before God. We're able to stretch out our hands and receive what's been asked for because we're doing what he said. We're doing what pleases him. Jesus says in the book of John that pleasing God is bearing much fruit. In the book of Hebrews, it says that we can't please God without faith. We have to believe that he will even before it happens. That's part of how it works. Again, this is God's command to believe in him personally, believe in him and believe in his Son, Jesus Christ. He told us to love each other in line with the original command, love God, love one another. And as we keep his commands, we live deeply and surely in him. He lives in us. And this is how we experience his deep and abiding presence in us by the Spirit he gave us. When we come before the Lord, what is our attitude? What is our belief? What is the condition of our heart? Brokenness and distrust and all the things that are created within the world and within life because of the way people treat each other. It causes a whole lot of emotional issues. But friends, we have to remember this. And again, we go back to this model prayer. Who are we talking to? We are speaking to our Father that is in heaven. We are speaking to the one that is revered, the one that we have total reverence and stand in awe of. So hallowed be his name. We're submitting to his will. Your will be done. Your kingdom come. Give me today my daily bread. We're not talking about a handout here. We're saying, I'm trusting you that you'll help me get through today. Forgive me as I forgive. Hold me accountable. I'm having faith, great faith in you that as temptation comes, it won't be a temptation. I can easily say no, turn away, walk away. You'll give me the strength to stand firm against the evil one because he's very real and he's always there to try to get in the way. And I'm giving you the victory because yours is the kingdom and the power. Things that get in the way, stumbling blocks, whether it's unforgiveness, hard-heartedness, unconfessed things, whatever. God knows. God knows. So we're not telling him something he doesn't know, but he wants to hear from you. We talked about that in the very first lesson. Even as our fathers, we know, as parents, we know, but we need to hear it. We want to talk about it. That's all God is saying. We'll talk more about some more stumbling blocks tomorrow as we come back here at Making It Simple. We're talking about the importance of prayer. We'll probably finish this lesson up tomorrow and move into whatever God has for us next. But this is so wonderful, friends, when we realize the model prayer indeed models and puts forth the great, great example of what our prayers should contain and where they should come from in the depths of our hearts, and even greater, that they're real. God bless you, friends. I'll see you tomorrow.